So this is Abram Brown, our returning tech member from last season, and we're just asking him to tell us a little bit about what it's like to come back.
Yeah, so it's my second season with the project. I think one of the things about the project is that there's a lot going on. You're doing a lot of work. You're learning a lot of new skills that you've never used in kind of other areas. And I think that on my first year is pretty overwhelming. And I think you get through the season, you learn a lot, but it's harder to sink your teeth in. And I think with my second season, I've really been able to get better at a lot of those things I learned, because starting with tagging pups and then moving to surveying, I've done those things before. And so I have a little bit more experience, and it's had time to kind of sink in. And so I think that I've been a lot more effective as a crew member this year, and I'm really glad to be able to come back. And I think it's nice to kind of enjoy tagging, handling the seals, hanging out with pups, and being able to see that and not just be overwhelmed by being in a whole new location, being having to dress very differently than I have for other field jobs, and using a whole set of skills that I don't really use in other areas. And I think that that's something I've really been thankful for, is the experience and being able to put that to good use a second time. Some of the skills that I've used here that I don't really use other places is definitely dressing for cold weather. That's kind of a bare minimum. It's warm today, but that's definitely not always the case. You have to be pretty adaptable, and you have to know a good layering system, develop a good layering system, and then be able to adjust as temperatures and winds change. That's one of the most important things, because if you're cold, you can't work effectively. You can't be a good team member. Certainly animal handling, that's the biggest thing we do. And that's a skill that you're not going to get a lot of other animals that let you work so closely and intimately with them, like the Weddell seals do. That's a pretty fantastic feature of our work. Driving snowmobiles, maintaining work gear. It's a pretty harsh continent for people and for gear. And so making sure that everything is in good shape so we can do our job effectively is pretty important. I think having a second year, it's also important to work with other team members. There's a lot of new things. It's very overwhelming for folks. And I think just having another set of hands who's been here before and can give advice or point people in the right direction, I think is really useful. Both for me, I feel productive, and I think it's helpful for the crew to have some other folks that can lead folks or kind of point them in the right direction.